Prime Business Consultant. Thank you for joining us tonight. And also, I can see Bright Ruben joining from the UK. Wow, lovely. Doing MSc in Computer Science and Technology. Great to see you, Bright Ruben. We'd like to see more people put in the chat box where you're joining us from. You understand? And also what you do. Okay. And also, please remember, I appreciate if you can minimize the noise at the background, where you are, so that at the time the class starts, you won't be distracted. Okay. Yeah, I can see happiness. Oh, okay. So works in care, journey from the UK. Great to have you here, happiness. Nick from the UK, currently in healthcare. Lovely. Thanks for joining, Nick. So we're going to start the class by 6:15. So the next 6 minutes, the class will start. Okay. So all right, in the next 5 minutes. Okay. I know for people who are joining from outside the UK, your time zone is different from UK time zone. Nigeria right now is 7:10. The UK is 6:10. Of course, some like East Africa, I think they are 2 hours ahead of us or something. So the earlier we get to meet everyone, so we're not going to take much time. Okay. Okay, I can see Benson Lombard, student in finance, journey from Angola. It's great to have you, Benson. Then I also can see Happy Josiah from Malawi, working with Reply Malawi Limited. Thank you for joining, Josiah. Then Joe from Angola, economic students. Great to have you, Joe. We are 20 on this chat room, so it will be great to meet everyone here. So let's keep putting where we're joining from and what we do for a living. We'll start any moment from now. In the next 3 minutes, we'll start up the class, and I'll introduce the host, the convener of this training today. Thank you. Okay, we have also Ade from Nairobi, Kenya, student in Master of Monitoring and Evaluation. Okay, right now we're going to start the class of training. I'd like to introduce the convener of today's training webinar. It's no other person but Terry Amodibo. He's an author, a personal brand guru, influence catalyst, is a speaker, is a leadership coach, is an entrepreneur, is a member of the John Maxwell team, and is the founder of Success Image International, and also is a member of the Forbes BLK Council. Today, he's going to be taking us on breaking into the world of data, breaking into tech. And today's topic is break into the world of data, how to transition into tech with confidence. So this evening, I'd like us to make welcome Mr. Terry Omodibo as he takes the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much for that introduction. All right, good evening, everyone. Wherever you are joining me from, I know some people said are joining from Malawi, some from Angola, from the UK, Nigeria, whatever you're joining from, thank you for joining me. All right, so just let me know if you can use the chat room. Just let me know that you are still here. And I will encourage us, let's just use the chat room more often. If you have questions as we go, just keep dropping it in the chat room. You don't have to unmute so that we can have a serene environment. This training is being recorded. So I will encourage that we use the chat room more, all right, instead of unmuting our mics. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everyone that is here this evening. All right, so without wasting too much time, we're just going to dive into the business of the day, which is how do you break into tech? How do you break into the world of data analytics, business intelligence, and every other areas of tech that you feel confident to, or you're desirous of getting into in your career? All right, so that's just the whole idea around this training today. And I'm so privileged and trusting that I should be able to explain as much as possible all the things that you need to do, the things I have done in my own and career, in my own journey. And I use that as an experience for you to learn through. All right, so if you can see my slide, just let me know you can see my slide. So I'm going to just run through that and then we'll take questions. And that will be all. So can you see my slide, please? Can you see my slide? Okay, let me know if you can see the slide so that I don't just want to move so that you can be carried along. Okay, okay, using the chat room. Okay, yeah, you can see my slide. Beautiful, beautiful, awesome. So, breaking into the world of data. That's what we're going to be talking about this evening. Breaking into the world of data. How do you transition into tech with confidence? How do you transition into tech with confidence? All right. So I'm going to be reading a lot of statistics. The statistics, just to let you know, of course, this is a data class. So I'm going to be showing us the reasons why this is crucial. These reasons why you need to learn data skills. You need to have skills in data. The reasons why this is a big deal. The reasons why you should see this as a big deal too, if you are looking at being relevant in the future. All right. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of data, a lot of statistics, so that we can understand and comprehend exactly how we can position ourselves and understand what you need to do moving forward. All right. So, as an introduction, why data? Why data? Why now? All right. So over 97 zettabytes of data are created globally in 2024. Over 97 zettabytes of data was created globally in 2024. And of course, this figure is expected to hit 181 zettabytes for 2025. 2025 is not done yet. All right, look at the gap, all right, almost double its size in terms of data created. Now, every business today now relies on data-driven insights to make smarter, faster decisions. All right. And the question is no longer, should I learn data now? The question should be, how soon can I start? How soon can I start? Let me just run through and I'll explain some more. Now, what are the jobs opportunities that data skills or data, the data world has created? Now, if you're very familiar, like I said, I'm going to bring a lot of statistics so that we can understand. Now, the global demand for data professionals is projected to grow by 36% between 2022 and 2032. All right. 36% is a whole lot. All right. Now, roles like data analyst, business intelligence specialist or business intelligence analyst, data visualization expert or data visualization analyst. Now, there are different names, different roles, depending on the country, depending on the area, all right, depending on the city, or depending on the organization. They call it different names. It's all the same. It's data rules or it's data or business intelligence. Now, in the UK alone, for those who are in the UK, there is a data skills shortage gap that is worth over £10 billion right now in lost productivity annually. This is proven. This is from the UK data sites. Now, also, there's a McKinsey and Company report that reveals that 65% of organizations say they can't fill critical roles due to the lack of skills, especially skills in data, or especially literacy in data. Now, the good part is that you don't have to be a programmer to work in tech today. If it was like 5, 10, 15 years ago, we say, yeah, you probably need to program. I remember many years ago when I wanted to at least learn a little bit of data, a little bit, not really so much into tech. It was all programming. You have to learn coding. You have to learn so many things. But the world has evolved, all right? Internet has evolved. Technology has evolved now that you really practically don't need to code anything or to be a programmer to get into tech today. Now, every role, a lot of roles right now, from HRO to marketing to finance, operations, even the little things that we do, even social media, content creation, everything right now is revolved and speaks what? Data. Now, is data careers for everyone? Yes, it is. It's for everyone practically today. Everyone practically. You don't need a tech background to get into tech today. You don't need to be in tech, have a tech background. I don't have a tech background, all right? You don't have to. All you need is curiosity. Be curious. All you need is critical thinking and the willingness to learn. That's all you need today to get into this world of data. Now, more statistics, there's 7% of data analysts today come from non-tech backgrounds, including teachers, including salespeople, including accountants, including every role, every field right now has to have some form of data. Now, I was even checking my WhatsApp. I came to the UK a few years ago. Now, my son's school, my children's school back in Nigeria, all right, I have a WhatsApp group. And I discovered that even the school has evolved right now, embracing data. Now, every teacher, back in those days, teacher don't have to learn data. They get into data or learn anything that has to do with analytics or anything. But today, even teachers have to learn data skills. All right. So the world is evolving. Everyone in some form of role have to embrace data in any way. All right. Now also, it's about problem solving per se, not really about the numbers. It's about problem solving. Like I said, the three things you need is curiosity, critical thinking, and the willingness to learn. Now, what is the future for data? For those in the data field, what is the future for us? Now, in entry levels, data analysts can earn an average of £35,000 to £50,000 per year. Don't take my word for it, right? You go online and just click this, you're going to see it online. This is from a recognized site here in the UK, called Glassdoor, all right? 35,000 to 50,000 pounds per year. Now put that in perspective. That is for entry levels. Even some data analysts earn up to 70,000, 80,000 pounds per year. I know a friend who earned over £100,000 per year. Now, for those of my friends in Nigeria, if you put that into perspective in terms in the naira, that is a lot of money. Let me not put that right now. That's a lot of money, all right, per year. So that comes to sometimes about £10,000 per month. So put that into perspective for you to really look at it critically. Now, beyond the paycheck, data roles or data career roles can offer some form of flexibility. Some form of flexibility. It also offers you global relevance. And of course, room for growth. Now, the technology world is one particular field that is evolving by the day, evolving periodically by the day, all right? New things every day. So there is room for improvement. There is room for growth. Now, why are you in this webinar today? Why is this webinar very critical? Why is this webinar very, very, very important? This isn't just another training. It's a roadmap that you can leverage to transition into tech if you're really serious about it, all right? If you're not just chasing clouds, all right? You need to take this seriously, exactly everything I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, you will learn the skills, you learn the structure, you learn the strategy to pivot confidently into the world of data analytics and business intelligence. It's been amazing for me, all right, in the last couple of years that I've been into this. Professionally now, in the last 1 year, all right, we have more than a year now, I'm going to 2 years professionally. But before now, yeah, a bit of Excel here and there and a bit of things. So professionally in the last 2 years, and it's been so amazing, and diving more into it and open the world of data, and I discovered that this is one field that everyone in one form or the other has to embrace. And in Success Image International, we're going to show you exactly how we help learners like you build data-driven careers from zero to professional level. So what I'm going to be running through in the course of this training, what we learn exactly are some of the common barriers in breaking into tech, why many people struggle to pivot. We talk about some of the core data skills that you need, what tools and knowledge that matters the most. And then I'm going to be discussing my signature data transition framework. We're going to talk about that. And then I'll show you a couple of real life stories of people who we have been able to help in the last few months, like you, all right? Real life stories, just a few amongst the ones that we have. And of course, we introduce us to our data analytics business intelligence program. We give you a snapshot into what you expect and what we'll be doing. And of course, we'll take questions from you. So before I run through, if I go to the next phase, let me be sure that I still have people with me and I've not lost anyone. All right, so if you're still here, please put in the chat room that you're still here. All right, put in the chat room that I'm still here, I can still hear you. Let me just be sure that you are still here. Just want to be sure that we're here. Put in the chat room, please. Oh, good, so I'm still here, All right. So someone's asking a question, is it possible to earn this amount working remotely from Angola? Sure, I'll show you that. I'll show you more. We're still going to take a lot of statistics, all right? I just want to introduce you that, is that an icing on the cake? Just a taster, something to wet the ground, wet your saliva, or wet your taste so that you understand that this is a big deal, all right? Okay, who else? Yeah, Bersin said I'm still here. Ruben said, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So let's just go into the next phase right now. Just keep that coming in. I just want to be sure, let's have the engagement together. Let me not lose you, please. Let me not lose you. Please stay to the end. It's very critical. You're going to learn a lot, I'm sure. I promise you that. All right. So let me take you into my journey, just a snapshot of my journey. Like I said, like many of you, I didn't start in tech. All right. I didn't start in tech. I started as a salesperson, basically, in business. I've always loved the world of business. In one form or the other, I'll be doing business in one form or the other. But professionally, I started my career in 2003 in sales and marketing, and then moved into business development. And basically, that's what I've been through. But my first company that I started out with was a manufacturing company. Yes, I was in sales, but somehow that exposed me because my secretary that was helping us out there was using Microsoft Excel for analytics. And she was using Microsoft Excel to control the inventory for the organization. Today, that company, if I mention the name now, you will know the company, right? Because it's a global company, right? The founder right now has over 40 companies around the world. But the company that we work with there in Lagos, Nigeria, started out big manufacturing company, but what they were using there was Microsoft Excel. And I was shocked how just with Microsoft Excel, we were able to have inventory management. It was so amazing. So I had to, while I was in my sales, peeping out, learning from how that works. So I left the company after some years to start my own company in retail business. And afterwards, I deployed those skills and I was able to use that to build my business almost 10 years, all right, in that space too. And of course, went there to a real estate company. And of course, from some years, I decided to come and relocate to the UK, did my master's program in digital business and data analytics, and then did some advanced courses also. I did analytics, some in business management. I did some from EBU, European Business University from Luxembourg. And then, of course, I did some Google in partnership with Coursera programs also from Google. All right. So, but today, I am running Success Image International or Success Image Institute that has 3 academics put in one, and also consulting for a number of small businesses on improving their data ecosystem. So if I could make the transition from sales to data analytics without having to get into the programming, into the coding, I did that many years ago and I ran away, all right? If I could do this successfully today, anybody can do it. So the key is not where you start, but like I said at the beginning, you must have curiosity. You must have that curiosity, curious mind. You must be willing to learn, and you must be willing to apply what you learn. You cannot wish it away. Like I used to tell my kid, you want to learn mathematics, you cannot read mathematics. You must practice mathematics. You must take the questions and practice it. The more you practice, the more you get the expertise in it. So, like I said, you need curiosity, you need the willingness to learn. So can I put that in the chat room? The 3 things that I said we need, let me go back to that so that we can say that again, because that's what is very critical. Curiosity, we need critical thinking and the willingness to learn. Put that in the chat room. Curiosity, critical thinking, and the willingness to learn. Can I put that in the chat room? Put that in the chat room. Curiosity, the willingness to learn, and of course, you need critical thinking. Now, critical thinking is another area entirely, all right? It's all about problem solving, basically, all right? About problem solving. I didn't say that in the chat room. Please put that in the chat room. Just make sure you're following me. You need curiosity. You need, yeah, great. Jaira says that. Curiosity, critical thinking, and the willingness to learn. You can even add the willingness to apply what you're learning. Willingness to apply what you're learning, all right? Very critical. Those are the critical things that you need to be able to succeed in this space, all right? Great. So keep that coming, those 3 things or 4 things that you need to know. Now, next is, let me show us more statistics. Now, this is a recent statistics from the World Economic Forum. This is 2025 infographics. You can check that out. Yeah, I see that coming now. Good. Willingness to apply what you learn. Great. Is it only Jaire Omega that is in the chat, that is in the room? All right. Great. Ade says that too. Beautiful. Please use the chat room, all right? So that I can be sure I get the feedback that you're learning something. Great. So this is statistics from the World Economic Forum. This is live statistics. You can see this online. Just go Google World Economic Forum 2025 report. Now look at what is trending right now. Trends in AI, robotics, and energy technologies are the most likely to drive business transformation into the future. 86% right now in AI and information processing technologies, including big data, including VR and automated AR also. 86% is going to drive business transformation moving into the future. Now look at the skills gap that prevent business transformation today. The skills gap that prevent business transformation. Now, what I saw, let's look at 63%. 63%, just a minute, please. Now there's 63% skills gap today. 63% skills gap. And if you look at that stats there, you're going to see that there are gaps to fill. It's not saturated yet, all right? Because sometimes some people just feel, everybody is doing it. It's not true, right? Everybody is not. Everybody is having an idea, but not everybody is neck deep as a professional in it, right? Good. And let's look at what are the fastest growing and declining jobs by 2030. The fastest. Look at the first one, look at number two. The first one, there is big data, which is also in data analytics. So now look at the top 10 fastest growing skills by 2030. What's the first one there? AI and big data. Now, if you run down, you're going to see other areas. But the top and fastest growing skills, 2030, by between now 2030, is AI and big data. Now let's look at more stats. Now look at this. 39% of worker core skills will change by 2030. It means a lot of people are going to, AI is disrupting. AI is disrupting. Tech is disrupting. It's disrupting every industry. Tech is disrupting every industry, every businesses. And that means 39% of workers core skills will what? Change. So does that mean, are you going to be amongst those who will be filling those roles? Now, for those who live in advanced countries, in Canada, in UK, in US, right, in advanced countries, you know that one of the critical areas to also look at is how do immigrants fit into the mold when you get into advanced countries? How do immigrants fit into the mold? Now, will there be roles for immigrants to fill in? Now, this is a good statistics that shows that 83% of workers or employers have DEI priorities. It means diversity, equity, and inclusion is no longer what is written. It's not what is practiced. All right? It means there is room for immigrants or people that are going into other countries, especially where tech is advanced, are going to find roles, both remote roles, hybrid roles, and of course, roles like tech really are not basically full on-site roles. They are basically remote roles or hybrid roles. Okay, so I think that's good news for us too. Now let's look at these job trends that you can't ignore in 2025. 5 job trends you can't ignore in 2025. Right? This one, look at the first one there. It says skills-based hiring is on the rise. People see certificate is good, but today, moving into the future from 2025, in short, not 2025, that started in 2020, just post-pandemic. It was when I got here that the certificates that we look out for are not, it's not being valued here in developed countries. All right? Yes, they train the world and they give you certificates, but they don't have prioritize those values on the certificates. What they want is, do you have the skills? Do you have the skills? All right. I have friends in Canada too. They tell me the same thing. What can you do? Basically, not what certificate do you have? What's your resume? Resumes are just collected for the documentation. But the big deal is, what can you do? What skills do you have? So employers prioritize specific skills today over degrees and experiences. That is number one there. So that gives us hope. That gives us an opportunity. If you can put on your thinking cap right now, you start thinking, you know that there is a lot that you can do, that can benefit and position yourself moving into the future. All right. So next, let's look at some of the common barriers in breaking into tech. These are common barriers, right? It may be not exactly the same for you, but this is generalized. What are some of the common barriers? Some people say I'm not technical enough, all right? Now, like I said at the beginning, a large percentage of people who today are into tech or into data analysis role, they don't have technical barriers, background. That's the truth. They don't have it, all right? And a lot of them are functioning in different roles, in health, in finance, different roles, in retail, all right? In small businesses, you can find everywhere in any industry, all right? Also, too many tutorials, information overload, no clear roadmap. Of course, we have a structured learning with expertise, guidance, and support to be able to mitigate that. Now, for those who've been crying, I don't have tech background, I don't know tech, in short, I run away from numbers, in short, whatever excuses that you have around, I don't know, in short, me and mathematics, me and numbers don't agree, in short, I'm not, don't bother about that, all right? Today, you don't need coding experiences, you don't need programming experiences, you don't need too much of knowledge of numbers. Of course, if you could buy and sell, it means you could also do this very, very, very well. Now, What about real world experiences, right? What about real world experiences? Some people say, oh, how do I get to know what is being done? How do I be able to fit myself into the role? How do I fit in myself? So basically, you're going to learn by doing with hands-on projects, and of course, we're going to hold your hand all through. Now, what about the fear of relevance? I'm too old to switch. I don't know if there's anyone in the room that is older than me. Not to spite anyone anyway, but we have people who are even more older, 50, 60, 55, all right, that are even getting into it, that are switching today. Yes, it looks as if, oh, the 20s, the 50s, 30s, and maybe the early 30s, 40s are more in the Gen Zs and they are more into tech, but that's not true. When you come into the developed world, you discover that there's no really age limit. Not like in developing world, developing countries, where you have limitations. In developed countries, so far you can pick yourself and get out of your house and walk to your place of work. They will give you the road. There's no discrimination. The road is available. So far you can prove that you have the abilities and the skills. You'll be offered the road. All right. It's only in developing countries where there are a little of discrimination of age. But yeah, sure, there are some jobs you apply for here. They will not ask you what is your age. It's not relevant. It's not important. It's what if you want to get into government roles here, they won't ask so many things. There are some things that they will not ask you. Some don't even ask for your gender. They don't care. They don't care about your age. What they care about is, can you do the job? All right. Are you able to deliver? That is what is most important. So the relevance thing is really not a big deal. Now, I don't have connection. I don't know anyone. In short, who do I know? I don't have anybody around me that is doing it. That's not the problem. We are building a community of people, all right? You're going to jump into and have access to a right network, a right community that is going to support you as you change your careers. Now, let's look at some testimonials from people we're able to work with one-on-one and that their stories have changed today. Let me just read one here and then I'll jump into the next slide because of the time. Now, Sadiq here says, what stood out for me was how the SII team genuinely cared about our growth. The blend of learning, mentorship, and project-based experience gave me clarity on how to transition into tech. I recommend this to anyone serious about upskilling for the future. That's from Sadiq, who attends the University of Hertfordshire. All right. And also we have another powerful testimony there from Joseph Odia, also from the UK here. All right. These are people who had were able to train and mentor in this space that are doing so well today. Now, what do you really need to break into tech? So what do you really need? All right. We're going to jump into the meat right now of this conversation this evening. Are we still here? Are we still here? Just want to make sure we are still here. Are we still here? Are you getting something? If you're getting something, let me just send the chat room. If you're getting something, just share with me one or two things that you've gotten so far, all right, before we get into now the big meat, all right, of today's conversation. What have you gotten so far, all right? I've shared a lot of things so far. I shared a lot of things, all right? Lynette says, very encouraging, all right? Let me get some more. Who else? Jerry says, see here, deeply inspired and ready to roll. Absolutely, absolutely. And they said, interesting. That was interesting. Please share some. It was interesting, all right? You want to hear some big things, right? Like, so, there's a lot of money here, man. Just think about how much you could earn, all right? As a mid, all right? Even entries, all right? Not talk about the mid, not talk about the big boys, the senior, all right? And a lot of money, right? You can, this information is everywhere, all right? Everywhere. All right, Ade says interesting. What else? All right, who else again? What one or two things that you've gained so far from the conversation so far? Drop it in the chat room as we roll. You just want to be sure you are with me. All right. What do you really need to break into tech? What do you really need to break into tech? Like, let's move. All right, let's move. Now I'm going to be sharing right now our data transition framework. A data SII data transition framework. All right. So basically, we're going to move you through from learning to career support. How we're going to do that, I'm going to just run through this, right? This is our framework. This is our process. This is how we help our students. This is how we help our community. This is how we're going to help you through the process until you land your dream roles, until you get that dream job, until you start that dream business, if you want to, those with the entrepreneurs, until you rejig your data ecosystem, if you are in business currently right now, or if you are in business that you're looking to get leaders, or you want to start up something in this space, you want to be able to get data, get your data up and running so that you don't make what do you call it now, haphazard decisions. All right, this is it. This is the meat of the whole conversation today. So we're going to start from skill mastery. From skill mastery, then of course portfolio building, and of course that goes through to mentorship and coaching, and of course we're going to be having career. So these are data transition framework. And this is running through it, and then we'll take questions from there. Now, first one is the skill mastery. Here, you're going to build the foundation for your transition. What is the first thing you should do? You need to learn the core data tools. There are core data tools. Don't let anybody bamboozle you. You know, what it is this industry that you get into, and then when you start talking, what are the tools you use? You will hear tools and tools and tools and tools. Sometimes you feel very, very intimidated that you don't even know some of the tools. See, it's like going into, for those in Nigeria, for example, you want to buy Indomie. Now, every noodles is called Indomie. But we know that there are different brands of Indomie, right? If you resonate, if you're in Nigeria, you can put that in the, just say I resonate, I understand what you say, put that in the chat room. Now for those in the UK, same thing, all right? Now you want to buy pasta. There are different brands of pasta, right? Different brands, all right? So the noodles, we have the Dangotes, we have the, whatever the name, the brand that is called, it's still noodles, all right? For those who want to buy the spaghetti, whatever brand you call it, is still spaghetti, but each of them have different texture, maybe different size, maybe different taste, maybe different condiments or ingredients, different. That's how it is. Same thing when you get into the world of data, it's the same thing. You're going to have the core tools, that are the core basic data tools that is needed in this space. Then once you're able to master these core data, you can now begin to, okay, my organization is using this other tool, but each of these tools are built on the basic foundations of these tools. And these are the most and widely used tools today. The first one is Microsoft Excel, all right? Microsoft Excel is not just about creating tables, all right, and putting numbers. I used to think that when I was still in elementary, Microsoft Excel, right? It was once moving into the world of data that I discovered that it is beyond that. There's a whole lot that Microsoft Excel can do. Like I told you, all right, when I started out, all right, in the manufacturing company, I was able to, firsthand, that should be over 20 years ago, yeah? That should 2003, 2004, all right? That should be about 20 years, over 20 years ago. And I saw that as at 20 years ago, Microsoft Excel was used for inventory management for a whole manufacturing company that was serving Nigeria and even beyond, right? So start saying Microsoft Excel, other tools have come, but basically built on the foundation of Microsoft Excel. So we're going to learn Microsoft Excel, and of course, Microsoft Power BI evolved out of that. All right, so these are visualization tools. Then we have Tableau visualization tool. Then we have query tools like the SQL. And of course, if you have all the mastery of these tools, but you don't know how to tell the story of data, that is another challenge. So how do you tell data stories? You're also going to learn that. Now, you need to start simple, and then you move to the advanced, like I said. Don't rush. Build your competence. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Build your competence slowly, progressively, and slowly, right? As fast as you can. Set goals for yourself. This is how far I can go. This is how far I want to go. Then you also have to integrate storytelling techniques at every stage to build a holistic skill set, all right? Then build confidence from competence. Build your confidence from your competence, from your mastery. The more you practice, the more you trust your abilities. You can't read it. You can only practice it. Right? You can't read it. You can only practice it. So you need to practice daily. Practice daily. Find time, set your goals on what you need to do, how you want to practice. Set weekly learning goals. Track your progress visually. Then also at some point, celebrate small wins. Your first dashboard story, your first query, or your first story, it all counts. And I said, make a lot of noise about it. If you go on my LinkedIn page, all right, you go on my LinkedIn. I don't know if I have people who are joining this platform, this webinar today from LinkedIn. I don't know. All right, but if you go on my LinkedIn page, I made a lot of noise about my first dashboard. So much noise that I had my coach there was asking me, how did you get all these white people to be liking your post and commenting? Bishop, I was shocked. It's the first day I made a post of my first dashboard and the story around it. The whole algorithm, my whole algorithm of my LinkedIn just switched. I was shocked. I was like, this is how this thing works. All right. And then I had people that I've never ever imagined follow me. And I can tell you today that just in a very short time had over 100 people, it's going to 200, about 150 people right now, join me within the space of 2 months, basically, just from telling data stories. So make a lot of noise about it, a lot of noise. Every day, at least an average of 5 to 10 people join me every day. Follow me every day on LinkedIn. I am amazed. So, but it started from me making so much noise about my first dashboard and my first data story. Now, next thing you need to do is show the world what you can do. Show the world what you can do. You need to build a portfolio. So why do you need a portfolio? Your portfolio is your proof of your skill. It shows, not tell employers what you can do. It shows, not tell employers what you can do. It is when I came into the UK that I discovered that you don't just say, I can do this. You have to show you can do it. They're two different things. All right. So that confirms this popular saying, facts tell, stories tell. Facts tell, stories sell. All right. You need to sell yourself, and selling goes beyond just telling. You have to be able to show and prove from past, from current, and into the future what you can do, your skill can do. So recruiters trust results, not just a certificate. I've said that before. Certificates don't matter here. Yes, they document it, but the big deal is what can you do? A well-built portfolio instantly sets you apart from hundreds of participants. I'm still building my own portfolio. I have a lot I've not even shared yet that I have put in the pipeline, but I'm going to share them, all right, very, very soon too. But I have a lot that I've also done. So a well-built portfolio instantly sets you apart from hundreds of applicants. Today, I've gone beyond me trying to apply. All right, I have application LinkedIn initially, but I have people reaching out to me now because of my portfolio. People reaching out and said, I want to work with you. I'm the one that says, I think I'm building something bigger than what you are trying to do right now. I'm telling you the truth. Portfolio is critical. Just a few days ago, someone reached out to me on LinkedIn and says, I say, I'll be following what you're doing. I see you have this, you have this, you have this, you have this. You mind working with us? You know, they put a particular way. I'm going to be working with them at the same time I can still do what I'm doing. And it's, of course, it's going to be remotely. And then the pay that they were offering was so huge. I was like, so when I mentioned that 35 to 40,000 people earn 35 to 40,000, sometimes 60,000, I know what I'm saying, because someone just offered me a few days ago. So portfolio matters. I'm just trying to show you that it matters. All right. For me now is, yes, the money is critical, but I'm looking at a bigger picture in whatever I'm doing. Okay. So next thing is source the right data sets. There are a lot of open data sets for those who will be joining our program. All right. The next phase of this program, we're going to expose you into some critical areas where you can get data sets, right, that we use, that are real life, all right, real life data sets, critical data sets that will be used to be able to tell your own data story. And of course, recreate real business scenarios, sales performance, customer share, financial forecasting. Use data projects that show your creativity and relevance. Very, very critical. For our students, we've already exposed some of our students to that. And of course, for those who will be taking this further, we'll also show you exactly where we get them. And also you can use that to also practice and create your own data portfolio. Next is present your work. Upload those projects if you've done them. Power BI service as where you can also upload. All right, you're going to see a lot of people create a lot of dashboards there and tell their own stories, data stories. You have GitHub also, and many others. All right, but these are the popular ones. Of course, use LinkedIn to post your dashboard. I just told my own story right now. about how I use LinkedIn to also share my own story and my own learning journey. Write short summaries explaining your insights and the tools you use to do it. Then that helps you to build visibility and helps you to build credibility. A point you come in wherein you don't need to apply for job will run after you. All right. It's like the salt and sugar thing. Is it the sugar and ant thing? Yeah, not salt and sugar. The sugar and the ant. There is no way, no matter how clean a surface is, if you put sugar there, just give it some time. Ant will find it. All right? Ant will locate it, no matter how clean that place is. If I use rag and the best detergent or whatever to clean up that place, just put sugar there. Just give it some time. Ant will find it. So the same thing that happens when you build a good portfolio and then you're able to tell your own story and put it out there. Somehow, those who need you will look for you. All right. I told myself a few days ago that I think I prefer that. It's better. You're even not emotionally connected. People finding you than you finding people, right? Or finding the job. So hirers will look for you. Now, turn your data project into conversations. A strong portfolio helps spark conversations with hiring managers, mentors, and peers. Okay, within time. And peers. It gives you confidence in interviews. You can walk through recruiters through what you've done. Each project you complete tells a story of growth, and your story sells. So turn the projects into conversations. If you go on my LinkedIn page, you see I've been making a lot of noise there. I know some of us joined this group and this conversation today just because you saw me on LinkedIn doing that. All right. So very critical, turn your projects into conversations. You can use one project and make a lot of noise around it. You can pick each of them and tell a story around it. That proves and shows that you know what you are doing. And let's move. Mentorship. Learn from those who have walked the path. Why mentorship matters? A mentor helps you avoid mistakes. It helps you to stay accountable and learn from real-world experiences. You can gain clarity, you can gain direction and confidence from someone who already achieved what you're looking for. You can't do this all alone. In the knowledge space, nobody knows everything. So you must be able to put yourself in areas, in places where you can learn. And one of the good things now that we're doing right now is create a community where we have people who are in different spaces that you can learn from each other, right? And beyond that, you can look for groups that speaks about what you're doing. You can look for mentors online, especially on LinkedIn, that also have critical skills that you're looking for, right? So mentorship is very critical. Of course, we have coaching too. Coaching, what does coaching bring to the table? Mentorship provides guidance, but coaching brings structure, all right? You can get personalized learning plans, feedbacks on your progress, and other things that the coach can help you do. It can help you to identify your blind spots, things that you probably did not see, right? Like one of my role models used to say those days. That hit me so much those days. He said that everybody have ways to look at things. You only have what you call hindsight. You have far sight. You also have blind spots, right? Things that you can't really it's an oversight. You just didn't pay attention to it, but it's very critical and very, very important. So that's what coaching. So coaching and mentorship, very critical. Also, I mentioned this over and over again, the power of community, very, very important. Learning alone limits your growth, but learning with the community, very, 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 very important. So in our institute, all right, we're working on collaborative projects. We're working on projects as a group, different projects on different areas, different roles, different sectors and industry, on real life projects that we can collaborate on that will help us to have insight into exactly and the areas that are critical moving forward into the job market. Then we have the SII approach to mentorship. We provide weekly live sections, project reviews, and insights into industry expectations. And of course, we're going to be having real feedback from real expert professionals, not just theory. I hate theory. Theory don't make money, right? Skills, practical. We're going to walk you through practical steps. Very, very important. Then the last part of the framework is the career support. Why is career support critical? Learning data skills is powerful, but learning a job requires strategic positioning. It doesn't come with my mind. All right? It doesn't come just like that. It doesn't fall on the card. It's one area that is critically scrutinized even at that, all right? So many skilled people remain invisible to employers because they don't know how to present their value. So career support will help you to bridge that gap between learning and your professional success. So also do resume and optimization, your LinkedIn profile makeover. We're also going to be doing interview and job readiness sections. Then we'll also let you know exactly what are the opportunities that are out there so you can take advantage of them. And of course, we'll help you to see how you can launch your career so you can actually transition properly and launch your career for growth, lifelong growth. So how do you launch? What do you do? Apply for, once you're done with our training course, what you should do next is apply. You can even apply, start applying. So at least you learn through the process. For entry roles, internships or analyst positions. Like I said before, join data communities on different social media. You can join on LinkedIn, very critical. Also, continue learning. I'm still learning up to right now. All right, continue your learning. Learning doesn't stop in this space at all. Learning does not stop. Now, also use your learning experience to refine your niche. Right? Sustainable entry into data career paths with room to scale and specialize. So use your experience to refine your niche. It is very, very important. There are different areas. We have the financial analytics, we have marketing analytics, we have operation analytics. These are very, very critical areas that you need to also know. Now, these are some testimonials for two of our past students that we've worked with one-on-one. The first one landed, Kingsley just landed his first data role. And of course, Jane too also landed her first data role. So we are helping our communities already to grow. You too can be the next success story. You can be the next success story. So what should you do? Now, where can data skills take you? For those who are in the UK, in the US, you're looking for visa sponsorship, the roles around data will help you to get visa sponsorship. All the roles that I just mentioned and even more. We have data analysis roles, business intelligence roles, data visualization specialist roles, research analyst roles, operations or marketing analyst roles, data consultant roles. For those who are not here, you can apply for these roles, all right? Even if you're not there, because there are, some of them are remote roles. You can work from anywhere. The most important is that you have the skills and you're able to do exactly. So you check their job description and see it, and of course, for those roles. A lot of them are remote roles. You can apply in Canada, you can apply in the US, you can apply in New Zealand, you can apply in the UK. All right, the UK has a lot of these roles that you can apply for. So what's the SII advantage? Why is SII this data analytics and business intelligence program? Why does it stand out? Why am I making the noise and break right now? Yes, what makes our own programs stand out? In our own program, it's going to be 5 weeks. We have hands-on learning. Every class includes live practical sections and real data sets, like I mentioned before. We'll also help you to complete a full business intelligence project that you can showcase to your employers. We'll give you, I think we have, in between the class, in between the 5 weeks, you're going to be having some mini projects that you work on. For every class that you finish, you have small thing to work on, just a little project. For every tool you work with, you're going to be having projects to work on for each tool. And at the end of the 5 weeks, you will also have a group project to work on that you can use as your first project that you can showcase to employers that you actually work on real data sets. And then also, your CV is very critical. Will help you to optimize that. Your LinkedIn is very critical. You have to be able to position yourself, like I mentioned all this before. And of course, for interviews. Like I mentioned also, you need access to mentorship. So we have very trained facilitators and myself who are in the industry, working right now, some in banking and a couple of other areas, other roles, that will also be there to support you within and even after you've graduated. And of course, you can also attend live classes from anywhere. All right, it's remote, of course, it's online. And of course, you earn a certificate from the institute. That's yet what makes this different. Now, for those who are looking at, oh, this is critical, I think this makes a lot of sense. This is good. So you want to join our November class. Want to join our November class? Right, this is a paid class right now. It's starting next week, Saturday. It's going to run 10 classes, 10 solid classes running on weekends only, Saturdays and Sundays. All right, it's going to, like I mentioned, we're going to be running through those tools, those core data tools, like I mentioned. Excel, we'll run through your Power BI, we're going to do Tableau, we're going to run through SQL. We're going to do that all through the 5 weeks. You're going to be working with projects, different projects, and of course, we're going to be working collaboratively also to have a capstone project at the end of the section. All right, it's fully online. You get a certificate of completion that is acceptable, and of course, we'll also, like I mentioned, other critical areas that will help you to position yourself. So we're offering free bonuses for those who are joining our cohort. All right, free civil LinkedIn optimization, critical for you, because of course, this is one space that I've seen that even the process of recruitment is also optimized. All right, it's also optimized. So you will need a tool that will help you to move through the gates. And of course, you have also free access to our job readiness sections before and after the training. Then we have a learning management system that you have access to. So for every of our trainings, it's going to be recorded. This is recorded right now. We're going to put it on linked on YouTube. You have access to listen to this over and over again. And of course, each of the classes will be recorded. You can always go back to the LMS and then watch it all over. It's going to be practical. We're going to have facilitators that walk you through each step for each tool and the core things that you need that are happening, that are used real life in organizations. And of course, post-training for post-training for up to 1 year, you're also going to be having support sections year in and out all through. All right. So putting all this together, this is far worth more than what we are asking to pay. Basically, for this program, the fee or the investment is just £500 for those who are in the UK. All right. I think some of us mentioned earlier on that we're from Nigeria. So I will see we're going to announce something for Nigeria. But for those who are in the UK, all right, the investment fee is going to be £500 for 10 sections, 10 solid sections, 2 hours, walk you through practically, could ask questions and beyond also, all right, we're also going to be working with you, prepare you and ensure that you held your hand to end your remote jobs, or to those in the UK, help you land your first role. All right. So, but we're going to do something for those of us who are here right now. I think a lot of us were here right now. For all those who attended to this event, we're going to do something special for you. All right. We're going to do something special for you. We want to ensure that as much as possible, you are our next story that we're going to be sharing in our next 3 webinars, all right? Our next success story. So for those who are here, I feel, oh, £500, well, I don't have it right now. You can actually pay instrumentally. But for today, for those who are very, very serious, only our class is not a big one, all right? We just have 10 slots available for each of our roles, each of our courses, just 10 slots. For those who feel this is critical and they want to maximize the opportunity, 50% who is going to join us today, all right? If you can pay 50% off the price, which is £250, all right, today, for those who can pay £250 today between now and midnight, I think it's just 8 o'clock or so, all right? 8 o'clock UK time, maybe in that part of the country, right? Up to midnight today, you are allowed to pay 50% off £500, all right? That's very small. All right, that's very, 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 very small compared to what is obtainable in the industry. All right, and what you're going to get at the end of the sections. All right, so £50, 50% off. That's £250 for those who are very, very serious. You're going to get value. We're going to walk you through until you land your role and ensure that you are the next success story. So how do you pay? For those who pay in full, like I said, get £50 next midnight today. You can also pay instrumentally, all right? In this part of the world, sometimes you don't have all the money at the same point. But for those who want to pay instrumentally, you are allowed to pay 50% upfront. If you can drop 50% upfront, that's £105. The link that we'll put that is on the screen right now will allow you to pay the full amount, But if you want to pay instrumentally, please send a message, all right, to support at successimageinternational.com. Just send a message there. We'll send you an account number or account link, a payment link that you will use to pay that installment. And of course, you can pay your balance within the next 2 weeks. You're allowed to do that. But you must be able to pay the 50% today before it's midnight to be able to take advantage of the 50% discount. I don't know if it's clear enough, all right? But for those who says, oh, well, want to pay after today, of course, you're going to pay the full amount. So you make your choices exactly what you intend to do. Now, after payment, you need to send a message to support Success Image International with proof of your payment, your name and your phone number, so that we can add it to a WhatsApp group and then add it to the LMS, all right? You need to be in LMS where we're going to be sharing the exercises with you in the LMS. You have exercises there, you have step-by-step things that you need to do to prepare yourself before the training starts. So everyone who is part of it, please, you can take the link right now. I'm also going to be sharing a barcode for those who want to take advantage right now. Next slide shows the barcode that you can do that. Now, let me just go there. This is the barcode for those who want to. You can just scan the barcode right away. I'll leave that for a few minutes and I'll go back and share for those of my Nigerian friends who also want to take advantage of this. We want to do something special for Nigeria, right? Because we understand what is going on. All right. So that's that. I don't know if you've taken that already for those who want to do that. Now, for those who are in Nigeria, we want to also do something very special. I love Nigeria. I love my people there. So we want to see as much as possible that we can help as much persons as possible, because this can't go for free. Right? A lot goes into it. We have facilitators, we're paying, we have a lot, and the LMS is there, it's online cloud. So many things are involved, so we can't do it for free, but we are just taking stipends to ensure that things are going on very well. So for my Nigerian brothers, all right, we don't have a link prepared right now, but you can send a message to support at successimageinternational.com. You can send a message tonight. Now, if you see that message, we'll send you an account, a dedicated account number that you can pay, but not in pounds, all right? You can pay in Naira. So what we're doing for Nigeria is 250K. You can pay 250K tonight, all right? Before it's midnight, pay 250K in full, or the same thing, just send your payment slip to support at successimageinternational.com, all right? Also, you can also pay it in installment. 2 installment is fine, all right? But you have to pay the first installment first. And of course, within 2 weeks, you also have to complete that payment. I don't know if it is clear, but if it's not clear, I can now go to the chat room and take questions for those who want to ask questions. But please, it is critical that you follow these instructions so that there will be issues, there will be any challenge in your payments. We want to work with as many as we can. Like I said, we just have 10 slots. When we have 10 slots, we call it short. We don't want to work with so many people, so that our facilitators, we can actually hold them hands-on and ensure that they get value for the money that they're paying. Okay, so this is the barcode. And let me take questions quickly. And then, yeah, someone says, I just joined now. Adelaja, what I've gotten so far is age is not a barrier when it comes to breaking into tech. What matters is your ability and commitment to deliver on the task. Absolutely. Age is not a barrier. Absolutely. That's true. What's that? Yeah, I can relate. That's good. All right, so we have the link there. Just for those who want to make those payments, please. That's the email address, support at Success Image International, please. If you make sure payments, please send in your payment slip confirmation there. You will get a link to the WhatsApp group, dedicated WhatsApp for those who are joining us. And of course, you need confirmations. We need to put you up in the elements. So very critical that you make payment and then send in that notification to the email. Very critical. So can I take questions? We have 1 or 2 questions before we call it a day. We have questions, please. Someone says, HP say, is it free? Just asking. Okay, is it free? Just asking. Yes, it's free, but you just have to make some commitments, all right? Great. Do you have any questions, please, before we call it up or wrap it up? I always end my trainings by saying success is not an accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifices, and most of all, love for what you're doing and learning to do. It's not about being perfect. It's about the effort. And when you bring that effort every single day, right, that's where transformation happens. That's how change occurs. This is by Julian Michaels. It's very important. There must be elements of commitment to whatever you're doing, elements of commitment. Want to ensure that those who are part of journey make some commitments, some level of commitment, so that at least you can be accountable. Like one of my friends used to say, whatever you don't commit to, you don't put your mind there, you don't get value for it. Right? So there's need for commitment, and the commitment is very important. So for Nigerian brothers, like I said, send an email to support. Get your email tonight. We'll give you the dedicated account number that you can make that payment. Now, for those who are making instrumental payments, send an email to support@Success Image International. You can make installment. We'll tell you exactly how a payment link that you can make a part payment, and then within the next 2 weeks, you can make the final paid instrumental. But send an email to support@Success Image International. But for those who are making full payment, which is what we encourage, that at least you just do it and go and relax and go and chill. Take advantage of the 50% discount. Right, the link right now is in the chat room. You do that right away, and then send that email also with your receipt and the proof of payment to that email and phone number, and then we'll walk you through and take it. All right. So that's it. When are the classes scheduled? This is from Lynette. Okay, so so if you cannot join the cohort now, what are other options? Okay, we're running 3 academies right now. This is our first academy that is coming up. This is in November. Of course, you know the year is ending. All right, so we can't even have any other sections. So if you don't join it this year, this section right now, of course, that's going to be 2026. But what I encourage people, the year is ending. It's good you have skills that you can start with in 2026. Right? Let it not be in 2026, you now start your learning journey. Before you start putting yourself together, the year is almost running out. All right. So you need to start right, walk through this period. All right, so that you can use, of course, you're going to be having a showcase day wherein whatever you've learned, you come. We're going to have people, mentors, and those who are already succeeding on the field, come and listen to you as you make your presentations, dashboard presentations, and your data storytelling. And then we'll be able to critique it and also get yourself ready so that by 2026, you are fully set, all right, to land your first role. It's very critical. One thing I know that I've said often and often, all right, is you need to position yourself. That's very, very important. For those who are looking for jobs in the UK, in January, that's where, towards the end of December and January, that's where a lot of roles come out. A lot of roles, all right? A lot of organizations will be recruiting at that time because some people will be changing roles. So more roles will be open for people to come in. So is it that time you now start learning? It's a good time to also put yourself in. So to learn new skills. That is it that's my answer to you, Diary. You're not joining now, of course, that's 2026. So make your choices. But I encourage that you do this right away. Okay, so when are the classes scheduled? Now, the class will start from Saturday, 8th of November. It's going to run for 5 weekends, which is 10 classes, Saturdays and Sundays. It's going to be from, I think, 7th, okay, because of the changes of time, 6 to 8, 6 time of time, 6 to 8, all right, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Walk around there, that's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., depending on what works for everyone. All right, but it's going to be the evenings, weekends only, Saturdays and Sundays. So make it flexible enough for all of us to participate. And of course, like I said, if you are not able to participate in any of the sections, it will be recorded. You can always go back and watch through. And of course, there will also be sections wherein you can come back, you didn't understand, okay, you can also take questions and all that. And after the classes, we're also going to be also helping you out to understand. This is a long journey, it's a learning course. So the next 1 year, you still have access to learning, to be able to ask questions on your journey too. That's it. So for those of us in Ghana, how do we pay? Like I said, how do you pay? You have to pay online. The link that we have there, that link there, I think you can make payment depending on your currency. Just put it in there, and it's going to, you can be able to make payment too. It's an online payment link. So jump in on the payment link. It will allow you to put in your card and make the payment. But if you have any challenge, just send a message to support@successimageinternational.com and we'll help you fix that and then see how you can actually get that out. But that link should allow you to be able to make the payment. So let me zoom back so that you can scan the barcode. This is the barcode. You don't need to go any. Just scan the barcode and it takes you to the payment link straight on. All right. Do you have any more questions before? Okay. Jerry also says it's Ghana. Yeah. I think I answered that. So, Jerry, did I answer your questions or do you still have any concerns? Lynette, I've also answered your questions. When are the classes scheduled? I think I've answered that. If you have any questions, again, you can also ask. All right. Okay. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks. Okay, that's great. So that's that. So you can follow us on our pages. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everyone who has joined tonight. Thank you so much. Also, send any inquiries to info@successimageinternational.com. Can reach us on WhatsApp. For those who are in the group, always send a message. There are 2 admins on that message. To those on the WhatsApp group, you can always chat up in the WhatsApp group to the 2 admins. We're going to respond to you of your concerns. But the most important part of this is let's see how we can support everyone, particularly to actually be part of the cohort. Just send a message, send an email with whatever challenge that is there. We'll see how we can support you to help you to get into the sections. Don't forget to like and follow our pages online, Success Imaging Institute on all social media handles, and also on Facebook International and all that. So just follow us, scan it, and then follow us on. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please, like I said, send an email or a WhatsApp message. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Okay, appreciate that. So I'll just leave the chat room for like 10 minutes for those who still have 1 or 2 questions. And after that, we'll call it a day. If there's still questions, you can drop that in. For those who are making any payments, please just send that in. Adre, thank you so much for staying to the end. Are you joining us? Are you in? Are you in already? Adi, I know you are one of those who started early. Yeah, information is power. Linus says so, yeah. What is why? Adi, what is why? Does why mean, oh, maybe yes? He said, why is there a maybe? Your answer. So I'm looking forward to meeting everyone there, my friends there. I'm making new friends already in class. Adi, Lionel, Jaire, and a couple of others also. Looking forward to holding your hands and joining you. So send an email. Let's see how we can support you one way or the other. All right. I look forward to supporting everyone. All right. If you still have any questions, please drop it in the chat room, and I'll take them for the next 8 minutes. And after that, we'll call it a day.